I said I assume you'll just tag us and it'll show up in notifications.
That too.
There it
I
is.
just tried to give you some easy access. I know you're not really on Twitter that much, John.
Yeah, never.
He's not well connected. It's
I was on it as you were telling me. I was on it replying to JMic actually. Stalking Casey.
I ran a poll that received 37 votes.
Hi.
I just really appreciate the fact that John, you decided to climb out from under whatever rock you in to do this. I appreciate that.
I don't live under a rock.
No, I'm just playing off of the whole you're not on Twitter thing.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh, guys, we have a viewer. We got to go live.
Oh, snap.
All right. Hey, welcome in to the Fake Pigskin Open Bar here every gosh darn Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern. Let me give you one of these sounds.
Yeah, buddy.
Good to be back. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
Absolutely wonderful. And for those that are checking us out on the podcast, by the time you hear this, you will have just heard the most wonderful new intro to our show featuring Bun G himself.
Who was that? The People's Champ? Was that who gave me that?
Shout out
moniker?
to Dwight. Yes. The People's Champ who gave you Bun G. Yes. So the bars, the people didn't know that you could spit bars like that. How does it feel to be an international rap sensation?
I was 6 years too late, I guess. I quit. I mean, I quit doing that. Like, you know, I started pursuing fantasy football and that wasn't working out. So I went back to rapping and fantasy football, seeing how that works out.
And apparently everyone loves it.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was all natural sounds, popping beers, and it was great. So, the little cheers intro remix. Shout out to Tyler. When we were on happy hour open bar, we had the cheers kind of thing, and I was like, I like that, but I kind of want some more sauce. So, but it's gonna be on a podcast. That's the big news here, JMic. That you're dropping some knowledge here. We have a podcast, dude.
Wait, what?
We got a podcast, dude.
We have a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So not only will
we have a podcast.
Not only will you see us on Tuesdays, 9:30 Eastern, you're gonna catch us on Wednesdays at 9:30 Eastern, Thursdays 9:30 Eastern, Fridays 9:30 Eastern. Then you're gonna take a break on Saturday, and you're gonna come back on Sunday at 9:30 Eastern and listen to us again. So you don't have to come in and view the show anymore. Casey, the People's Champ, all of our people, Travis, just wait till the pod. Just wait.
You can take
Don't watch us.
You can take us to the gym. You can take us to your date. You can take us wherever you need to take us to make sure that we are in your earbuds, giving you what you need.
You sound like a Tinder profile. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're gonna swipe right though. That's all I want to know.
I'm swiping right.
I kind of want to make a profile now. See, so JMic, this is kind of weird because this is one of the first times in the open bar where we didn't have our guests kind of like rudely interrupt us in between our like intro. I kind of prefer to be interrupted. So Tyler, thank you for jumping in, dude, because I felt awkward with just JMic and I talking. I'm not really into that.
You got to have people from New York or Michigan if you expect that kind of behavior. But definitely not Kentucky and Montana.
No.
Hey, whoa,
gentlemen.
Family's from New York. I'm fine jumping right in.
There and there it is. He's the one that jumped in first, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes perfect sense.
Well, we hear some people getting loud and proud. We'll introduce you, I suppose. Tyler, since you spoke up first, introduce yourself, say what you want to say, and hurry it up.
Who you be?
I'm Tyler. I do a fantasy football website. We actually just released it, but we do a podcast called the Fantasy Football Franchise. It's the F3. We just kind of started off on our own, so we're only about 2 or 3 episodes in. Just dropped the newest website, theFFFranchise.com. It's looking hot. Once you get done here, looks good. It's not 100% done. Got rankings up and a few other things, but giving away a Tyreek Hill photo just to kick it off. This literally happened like an hour ago. We just recorded our wide receiver rookie pod. So check us out at F3 Pod. And that's it. That's my shameless plug. I'm out. I'll be making jokes along the way. That's it.
Can I get what's your last name? I want you to pronounce it for me.
It's Gee, like Mick Gee without the Mick. So
okay.
Tyler, you can follow me at Tyler Gee NFL if you're into that kind of thing.
No,
we're not on Twitter a lot.
We're not going to follow you, Tyler. We just want to know what your last name was. But
all right, thanks.
Yeah, I was curious though. I actually had this discussion with my wife. I was talking about you with my wife, and
thank you.
Gearing. And then the GHEE. So we were debating between Gee and G, and I was hoping that it was G.
Sorry to show up and disappoint,
man. Golly gee willikers.
Sorry to disappoint, man. I'll try better.
That's all right. Hard G gang. All right. Yeah. Jacob, what's up, dude?
How's it going, guys? I'm Jacob Bittner. I am a writer at DHH.
I messed up his last name too
in
my
Bittner.
head.
It's Bittner. Everyone says Butner, and
yes,
it's okay, man. It's all good. I've been getting it my whole life, so it wouldn't be the first time. But I'm a writer over at DHH, and pretty excited to be hanging out with you guys tonight. This is my second time ever doing this podcast thing, so. Should be interesting. Should be fun. This is a very, very non-scripted format, so it'll be interesting to see where our conversations go tonight.
And Jacob, we usually try to keep like a 15 to 20 minute intro, just so we don't need to talk about football all that much.
It's just our coping mechanism. So if you can't get with that, it's okay. You can go on and go now. But if you can get with it, we'd love to keep you. Is that okay?
Yes, I would love to be here. I don't know if I can fill a full 15-minute intro, but
well, let's keep this long intro going. Jacob, did you ever think that maybe you were pronouncing your name incorrectly?
Ooh, Kamara.
Good question.
Yeah, what's your mama call you?
Yeah, right?
I can already tell you now. She says Butner.
I would assume that it came from Germany. I would assume I'm German.
100%.
So
and the UE is U with umlauts.
There is a very, very good chance that somewhere along the line in my heritage, it went from Bittner, like the Germans would say it, to more of a Bittner, like the Western world. But I don't know.
There's one guy like here for fantasy news to sit with his notebook, like, man, should I write this down or?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
there we go. Taking notes.
For those that may be
another fellow German, John Bosch. What's up, dude?
Not much at all. Those that might not know me, I am on the Dynasty Happy Hour podcast now. I'm one of the hosts over there. I also do some writing for Dynasty Trade Calculator. Do also host another podcast called Dynasty Game Night, where we just act like idiots and have a lot of fun, me and Matt Price, and different contestants. And I'm just here to try and sell Le'Veon Bell. So
here to sell Bell.
Now you have quite the trade streak going.
$600, John Bosch.
You have an offer sitting waiting for you, Jacob. I don't know why you haven't replied to it yet. It's not 600. It's more than that, but.
Probably because it's too much and I don't want it.
I deferred some of the funds to after the rookie auction just to make that deal happen for you.
What is your trade streak at? How many days consecutively have you made a trade in your various leagues?
I don't even know. I can't remember the last day I didn't.
Do you get withdrawals? Do you get withdrawals if you don't make trades?
No, because usually I'm in trade talks still. Like usually there's at least one deal like in talks. It might not go all the way through, but I can't remember the last day I haven't had a trade talk, and I can't remember the last day I haven't had a trade, to tell you the truth. So
there was a small trades. and I'm not even in his league. Like we've been talking. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about. We're just, I just keep talking to him.
I've been trying to trade Tyler's, like, and you know the F3 podcast just won't take the Tyler that I'm trying to give up for the Tyler that I'm trying to get. Like it's crazy.
Thank you for putting me that high in the capital. I appreciate that.
Well, the other Tyler, are we talking about the Gunth? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm just I'm
hard,
just
hard
joking
G
with him.
gang, okay? Hard G gang out here. So leave us alone.
I wouldn't trade that Tyler for anything.
So John, we're talking about trades. Obviously, you're always coming on to talk about your crazy leagues, blah blah blah. You know, everyone know, at least people who do know you for that. And we're
Most likely.
Yeah, right. 4 out of 5 of us are in that happy hour bar tab league.
Sorry.
Wow.
From
Wow, this called me out. Wow. All right.
Yep. So no, you called yourself out. Actually, you could have faked that for a while.
That's true. That's fair enough.
But the rollover auction, it's a fun format. And it sounds like you're pretty good at it. So how do you just win that first year?
I do not believe that I am good at it. I think I got lucky in bar tab the first year. So I knew my strategy going in was to blow all of my money as fast as I could and get good players. It's amazing. That actually worked.
So John, am I looking at things right here that you want 450 of my 2018 rookie stipend and 125 of my 2018 in-season stipend?
Plus 125 cash. So that totals 700, but 125 of it is deferred.
I like what I just added up to 575 or
correct. Your initial offer of 600 was good, but I want 700 with a little bit deferred.
Yeah,
I'd rather have 700 up front, but
the offer I'm looking at specifically says in your comments 125 from 2018 in-season stipend.
Yeah, so that's after. But then it says $450 from 2018 rookie stipend money. Correct.
So that would be a $575.
Correct.
For Bell
before the auction. Yes.
Not to be confused with what's coming after the auction.
So we should probably
try to write some fine print and take more money from me. Is that what's going on right now?
Your offer was 600. Like, so I came back with more money, but over a deferred payment plan. You know,
oh my God,
I'm okay with that. So we should probably explain this league a little bit. Gabe,
yes,
exactly.
Yes.
People right now are like, "What the hell are these people doing?"
I'm reading the comments, and the offer you sent me is 575. It's not. It's 575.
Add that up. There should be 125 blind bid money.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I see. Okay.
Actually, you know what? Just go ahead and accept, Jacob.
No.
It's 575. You offered 600. He said, "Hey, that's too much."
Poor commissioner over there sneaking in the fine print.
Sneaking in the fine print directly in front of him that he just didn't read. So this is a bankroll format, which is a copy of Scott Fish's Capitalist Pigs Leagues, which if people haven't heard of the bankroll league, like you're missing out. It's really, really fun and maddening. Like it's become possibly my favorite format of fantasy football. Basically, you get money to do an auction at the startup, and you get more money to auction the rookies. The thing is, they're not separate pools of money. Every time you get money, it adds to the money that you've previously have had left over. So you heard us discussing what kind of money. Like right now we have blind bid money. We have an off-season stipend that can be traded. We have a rookie stipend that can be traded. And we have a next year's in-season stipend that currently can be traded. So
you spend all your free time tracking that stuff.
Luckily, I don't have to track it that much, so that's pretty good. I mean, I've gotten it down on how to track it pretty easily, which has made my life a lot easier. But it just ends up being really fun because the value of players is basically never defined. At least not that I know of. Gabe, mathematician, may have figured out a way to define it, but I'm guessing not. I've been in Pigs. Capitalist Pigs was the first one of these, and we are now in our second. Like we've completed 2 full years, and the player values are still crazy. Like nobody knows. I just offered Scott $1,100 for Ezekiel Elliott and Rob Gronkowski, and I don't know if he'll take it. Like that. That's the 101 pays out $240. Like that's what the 101 is a payout for. So I essentially offered him, what is that? Like 4.5 101s. Like that's a lot of money. And I don't know if I want him to take it. I don't know if he will take it. I don't know.
It's 4.6.
Yeah,
that is a spicy meatball.
I did the 4.5 in my head, so I'll take. I'll be okay missing that 0.1.
4.58. I mean,
leave it to the doctor of math of our group here.
Jeez, good grief! But so like these bankroll leagues they're a lot of fun. If it's something that anybody's interested in, reach out. I'm happy to explain how I run mine. Scott, I'm sure would explain how he runs his. His are a little more complicated than mine because he also pulls in Devi. So there's another budget for that. He has multiple free agent auctions where you can auction off your own players and stuff like that. He's getting ready to do Pigs 3 where he's going to introduce a Pigs casino where you can bet your bankroll against the house. And he said every bet's going to have to be like bet 6 to win 5. But the goal is to kind of try and keep money down instead of money growing. So that's going to be really just an interesting feature.
Can I get a 401k in that league, or is that like? Is that like too like I don't know?
Okay, so in Pigs 2 and in Pigs 3, you can actually put some of your money in a reserve that you can't touch for 12 months.
So 401k, does it get taxed at the end, or is it like a Roth? I didn't know. I'm just asking for a friend, because I don't get invited to these leagues, so
hey, just
I'm gonna get called out.
Message Scott, and like I know he's gonna have some spots. I think a lot of the spots are gonna be filled by people in the first 2 because they're fun. But I know he's gonna have some extra spots left out. So just message him and let him know you're interested.
Do I have to have a portfolio ready, or? Okay. I know.
Yeah,
asking.
I bring references.
Okay.
So just whatever you do, just write down the name John Bosch, and they'll at least read the entire resume. That will happen.
So
I'd like John on Twitter.
I don't know how I got in the first one, to tell you the truth. I was shocked when he told me I was in. I about fell over because it was awesome. But so there you asked if there's taxes. Yes, there is. If you're in the top half of the league, you literally pay a tax to somebody in the bottom half of the league. So like the number 1 overall team.
So not like our government. Got it.
So it splits and it's tiered. So the top person pays the bottom person the most money. And then the number 14 person pays the number 15 person like $1 or $2. So there is a tax in the league.
That's communism if I've ever heard of it.
That is communism. Well, it's does
Uncle Sam know about this? Does Uncle Sam know about this?
There are definitely some socialist properties in the capitalist pigs.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, these rollover auctions will definitely turn you into a crazy person for fantasy football in the off season, and just focus your mind on nothing else. But like last year when I was trying to find out some formula, John, that I didn't find out, as much as me, but just because there, the value is going to fluctuate too much. It's unrealistic, but makes you go crazy. That's for sure.
How much time did you spend trying to figure out some sort of a linear relationship or any kind, not even linear, but any kind of a relationship? How much time did you spend trying to figure it out, Gabe?
Well, I mean, I knew it wasn't linear right away, but no auction would be, but, I ran a few different models. it was mostly like collecting everything all at once and like trying because it kept changing. You could predict something, but it would keep changing, which is like the frustrating part. So you can come in at the end and then have everything collected, but like, what does that really do for you? Potentially for the future, maybe.
Well, and if a bunch of money gets spent, one year in a rookie auction and people don't save for the next year, then next year's rookie auction is going to be totally, completely different values because there wasn't as much money in the auction to begin with. So yeah, it is going to be constant fluctuation.
I totally forgot that Gabe was also a math person. So we have messed up. We've got 2 out of the 5 here.
Yep.
Running numbers.
I was running all sorts of lines of best fit, Tyler. It was
R squared values. Please tell me that's some some R squared.
Oh my gosh, you guys find a room. Disgusting.
I will say it was really entertaining anytime Gabe would you could tell he would think that he was on to something. But then like a day later, he's just like cursing and all the work that he did that got him there. You know, he was onto it. He figured it out and he just had to throw it out the window because all of a sudden there's a complete reset. So it's fun. It is crazy. What do you guys think Saquon's going to go for in our rookie auction?
I'm not telling. I already came out here on y'all's on the Voxer chat. Everyone's chatting it up, talking about like, what's this go for? What's this go for? I'm like, yeah, okay, let's just have a rookie mock auction and just make sure we know what everything costs. It's just ridiculous. So I am not sharing. Y'all can talk about whatever you want, but
take the price of your team.
600, 600, Gabe. 600, 600, over or under?
I say over.
I think over too.
Just as a frame of reference, that in that league that we're talking about, Happy Hour Bar Tab, and you will know better than I will, Gabe. You probably have it written down somewhere, but the median or even the mean dollar amount for this is right in like the $700 range per team.
Somebody will be willing to blow.
Are you serious?
Yes.
It's an average of 700 because there's a lot of people that have like double digits.
remember, there's because the 4 teams that just came, or the 4 teams that just did the dispersal.
Yeah.
All of us have. I mean, that's a flat 800 as it is. A
lot of money. Yeah.
You guys do have a lot of money. That's right.
Well, I mean, even for reference,
you're not going to spend it all though. You're not going to spend it all.
You're willing to give up Bell for 700.
Look,
so
man,
Bell's 700.
Exactly. Yep. But that's the thing about Bell's prices, because until the rookie auction, there's really not a set value. So I can think that Saquon is going to go for 600 plus, but until somebody's actually willing to put that money on the line, then maybe Gabe is right. And maybe once it comes time to actually put the money down, nobody will want to actually do it. But
Gabe, first of all, Gabe, I'm grown. Don't tell me
I didn't.
I'm grown.
I'm grown. Don't tell me how to spend my money in a dynasty league. Like, you my boy. Like, we boys, but you gotta tell me how to spend my money. Especially we're in the league together. Come on, man.
He's got a budget. He's got a budget.
Yeah. He's
got that 401k growing boy.
He got babysit me in the league. Dang. That's changed my diaper here in a minute. What's going on?
I'm just trying to make sure you spend your money right on your family and everything. You gotta
first you don't want to talk about what Saquon's gonna go for. Then you gonna tell me how I gotta spend. Man, next you gonna tell me I gotta pay for these services. Like, I don't work in the financial industry. This is crazy. This is so crazy.
Oh, JMic. So
I can't wait for the show after that auction where Gabe has to admit how much Saquon actually went for. And please do me a favor, like write down your number in an envelope, seal it, and then like open it on that show.
Perfect.
So the Gruden way.
I will do that, John. I will,
square in the turkey hole. Yes.
I will put down all the prices of like not players, but picks 1 through, whatever, because you can't do players exactly because that just fluctuates too much. But I can do picks 1 through 50 or something. JMic.
Yep.
How do you like my strategy of opening up the show with John Bosch talking for fucking ever so that we didn't have to talk about something else?
Yeah, I like that. We don't need to talk about what happened.
Perf. Just open it with him waxing eloquent and just go.
It'd be great if we just didn't even mention it the whole show, but you know.
You say the word auction, and you know I could talk forever about
That's right.
auction.
Gets him all hot and bothered. Yeah.
You say the word snake draft, and I'll probably just log out. So.
Well, shout out to everyone that's on the YouTube chat. Quite a bunch right now with the buzzing talk. And Jacob, with you here, I think this got everyone really excited because they know what you enjoy talking about on Twitter and what I don't know if it's what they call your specialty.
Kickers.
Obviously,
kickers.
Kickers.
The draft is right around the corner, and all of the obviously Senior Bowl's right around the corner, scouting combine, all those good things are here. And so please just tell us, and not necessarily your strategy or anything, but because we'll jump into a lot of talk.
Oh no, tell us your strategy too, please.
Who's your favorite player not named Saquon Barkley in this draft?
Running back.
Anybody?
Running back.
Okay,
Well,
sure. Running back.
Do me a favor, and I mean, let's give a little rundown for anybody that hasn't heard it. What's the running back code? What is this running back code?
So the running back code basically looks at categories from production to athleticism, age, size, NFL draft position, 3-down potential, a bunch of other stuff, and it's a numbers thing. So it basically looks at the averages for my sample model, which is repeat running back ones, and it compares these rookies coming in, their profiles, to the profiles of running backs that have produced 2 or more RB1 seasons. So kind of maybe gives you an idea. Obviously numbers are they lie, numbers lie, but it gives you an idea of
women don't.
But it gives you an idea of where these guys are sitting with the average, where their profile sits with the averages of some other guys who came into the league and found success. So I'm only in the third year of it, so I'm still working out some kinks and trying to figure out if this system that I have to grade these guys is legitimate at all. But I think it's at least fun to look at and see where some of the hot spots and some of the cold spots are in people's profiles, for sure. It's kind of my goal, is to be able to look at somebody's profile as a whole and be like, this guy's a great athlete, but he didn't produce very well at all. So that might be a red flag for some people. It might not be for others, but I guess, yeah, take it with a grain of salt if you are looking at my scores, because it's definitely I don't draft off of them always. I very rarely do. So I would not if I were you.
I don't take my own advice all the time.
I'm just out here trying to mislead y'all so I can win some leagues.
But y'all should check it out. It's great. I wouldn't advise it,
but as far as my favorite player outside of Saquon in the draft, so the fantasy pastor kind of turned me on to I hadn't watched the quarterbacks hardly at all, but I love me some Baker Mayfield, man. I hope the Vikings get Baker Mayfield. I think that guy's got Russell Wilson written all over him. But
shout out to Clint.
Yep.
He's good people. Baker Mayfield, okay. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone by the time the Vikings pick comes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are we seeing?
We'll see what happens with the Vikings. We might not be in the market for a quarterback come draft day. We might be. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with that situation. So we'll just see what happens.
Vikings QB musical chairs, JMic?
Dude.
I'd watch it.
I mean, we can go there, Gabe, if you really want to. If that's what you really want in life. So okay, that's fair enough. Mr. Gee, your favorite player not named Saquon Barkley?
Running back or just in general?
hey, let it wash over you, whatever you want to do.
He's been getting a lot more noise, but I really like Sony Michel. I liked him a lot better when I thought I could get him cheaper, but now I'm seeing some Twitter polls that are like, hey, he's going like third. And I'm like, I don't know about that. It's a little too high. As far as wide receivers go, man, we just did an episode on F3. I really was digging me some DJ Moore. I'd like to see where he goes. But, man, that guy just had the package to me. I mean, he, yards after carry looked good. Just smooth cat. Smooth criminal. I was digging it and watched a lot of tape on that dude. So, liking some DJ Moore, I think that he's not getting enough love. But wide receivers are all about placement. I talked about it on the podcast. I mean, if a team doesn't give him the opportunity to show his talents, especially as a wide receiver, it's just tough, dude. So, those would be my kind of guys. I also like Jones. So, those are my kind of running backs and wide receivers that I've looked at. I've not done a lot in the quarterbacks. I really can't even – I've not watched enough tape, to be honest. So, but I've been watching a lot of running back and wide receiver here.
We're going to come back to Rojo. So you hang on to that. We're definitely coming back to him. Bosch, I know you guys have done in the last couple of weeks, you guys did a mock. You guys have talked a lot of –
That good, huh?
Gosh, Gabe. You guys have done a mock. Who's a guy you like a lot, not named Saquon?
The guy that I like, not named Saquon, Tyler nailed it there with it being Sony Michel. Like a month ago, I was so fucking happy with him. And basically during the college football playoffs, with every play, I'm just sending a stream of curse words to a few people. Just because like we had talked about Sony Michel, and all I'm seeing is, second round, well, maybe late first. And then I'm like, national championship game. All right, well, maybe I can get him at the mid-first somehow.
Yeah.
And then the other day, DLF put out their first kind of 2018 rookie rankings. He debuted at 104, and we get a curse on this podcast, right? So my message to Tyler and Doug was just fuck, and I'm just like, I mean, the dream of him is dead. Getting him at any kind of value, because he is not going to get past probably 5.
Yeah, that was what I was upset about. I was like, late first.
Yeah,
most of my dynasty leagues, we do like the guy that does decent. Usually gets a lower pick. We do like little balls or I don't know, some kind of random assortment. But I did well, so I got in the playoffs, and I was like, I could probably get him there. And now it's like, nope, he's gone.
Not at all.
I think your only hope is if you're in a super flex league.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be your saving grace.
Yeah,
that's where I'll go, because that's the kind of league that I like. So the guy that I want the most is Josh Rosen, but
to the Browns.
Not if he goes to the Browns.
To the Browns.
God. Like, I have been dreaming of Josh Rosen to the Giants for over a year now. Like, please, that's just perfect. I just want him to be a Giant. Just can we just get Josh Rosen somehow on the Giants? Why we don't have to waste the time with the draft. Like him with the weapons on there. Oh God, I would just love it so much for all super flex.
Do we need to leave you alone?
Maybe no. Like if he gets there, I think he is right up there price wise in a lot of auctions. If you're in a 14-team super flex, so like that's tight, and I think he's going to be up there right with the top running backs price-wise. So Josh Rosen is who I'm really, really looking forward to, but I could just be crushed within about 15 minutes of the NFL draft kicking off. So
Hugh Jackson, Todd Haley, and Josh Rosen.
No, go Josh Allen. Please go Josh Allen.
I feel the Browns are kind of like 300, where you just kick a guy into a pit. And this is Cleveland, and they just kick a guy, and you're just like,
Yeah, that is.
There he went.
I would be so deflated. I have a couple of Devy shares of it, and I'm just waiting. Like I'm just waiting. I'm going to watch the draft with so much anticipation this year, like no other year before, just because of the little bit of Devy that I've gotten into, and I'm just going to be dying if he goes to Cleveland. If Cleveland comes out and announces Josh Allen at number 1, like that's going to be such a victory, because literally Rosen will go anywhere else. Like Denver, I would love that. but the Giants are where I want him mostly. So Rosen's who I'm watching the most.
Yeah, that's going to be so fascinating.
I'm curious what those Browns do at 1 and 4. It's like,
yes.
God.
Yes.
Hopefully they go Saquon because I don't have a lot of him. Because
this is Cleveland. Join
I want-
Isaiah Corral and Duke Johnson.
I want everybody that's been saving up for. Oh, by the way, if he goes to Cleveland, I don't think he breaks 600. Gabe, I think then his price stays under. All those people that have been banking
I
on
still
Saquon.
will never forget when David Njoku got drafted by the Browns. His face. He wasn't even excited. I was like, man, I feel bad for this dude. Like, he was trying to act excited, but it was just like, and I was just like, I can't. It's like, I'm done. I'm out.
It's all right though. They're on the upswing. They're giving their coach some time to blossom. They're gonna blossom like a flower next season, I'm sure.
what else would they blossom like? I'm curious.
Perhaps like a blooming onion, maybe.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah. We accept it. That's good. Let's move on.
Very good. Gabe, do you have a name that you want to share, or do you want to be all tight-lipped and?
Fuck off.
Gabe's not giving out information. That's why people come here.
Yeah, you didn't come for this podcast for that.
Yeah, we don't come here for advice, man. What the hell? I don't know. There's a couple guys I like. I know Jake likes Penny, but I'll let him talk about him if he'd like. And I like I do kind of like Royce Freeman a little bit, but I just don't think he's going to be as athletic as I want him to be. It just kind of bums me out, and it's just going to turn me off. It's
like, are you looking to see him? Are you looking to see him run something specific in a drill, or do you just not?
I want to see him blossom. I want to see him blossom.
Yeah, I want to see him blossom.
Are you just looking at his film and you don't see the athleticism that you want to see? Like, what do you?
It's hard to judge Oregon players as a whole just because their offense just isn't ideal for what you can compare to in the NFL. And so when you watch that, it's just like, okay, but this is like kind of nothing like what it will be in the NFL.
So the production essentially is out the window for you, kind of, to a point. And it makes sense that it makes sense for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so like a landslide in his favor, really, when you're talking about being at Oregon, I guess. And they just don't run enough like plays for him to kind of see what he really is all about. So you kind of have to look at his athleticism a bit. And I'm worried that the 40 is going to be slow. And, but I think he's got some decent hips. I think he's got some swift hips. So we'll see what happens with that 3-cone. Curious. But
and those don't lie.
Hips don't lie.
Hips, they don't. Shakira told me just the other day.
Very good. I've got a guy that I want to talk about, but we'll get to that here in just a second. Again, shout out to everyone that's in the chat. It's popping right now. And we're going to jump in. So we've got Dwight, obviously, that we've already given a shout out to. Jason Tran from the Gut Feels podcast is here. Zach from the Dynasty Dummies is in here. Rob's in here. I mean, it is crack-a-lacking. Stepney's in here as well. Shout out to Michelle. Real quick. So if you guys were drafting today with all of this wonderful avalanche of James Washington love that is washing over us in Twitter or on Twitter right now, James Washington or Cortland Sutton, who is your wide receiver one?
Auden Tate.
No.
Ooh. Oh my God. Sutton or bust.
Auden Tate? Did someone just say Auden Tate?
Buettner.
I might have said that. No, I like Cortland Sutton. I like Cortland Sutton the most, but I think Auden Tate belongs in the conversation as a serious elite option in this year's wide receiver class. I believe.
Will he get hurt in this conversation? I'm just wondering.
He seems more developmental to me. Just don't think. I think he's a late bloomer per se. And more of a
bloomer count up to 3, guys. Just so you know.
If we get to the point where we're calling pants bloomers, then it's time to log off, guys. Like if we go that far just to start squeezing blooming puns in, it's got to be over, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're a baby bloomer, right, Bosch? No.
I don't know what that means.
It was a terrible baby boomer joke. I just wanted to fit bloom in so bad.
I'll see myself out. I'm gone.
Yeah, I'll go.
Y'all have fun.
Wow.
Love you guys. It's been
Pretty
good.
glad I didn't know what that meant.
Hi, JMic. Literally left. He muted and
I'll put myself in timeout.
yeah. Okay. We're suddenly PTI and I'm Tony Reale just muting people. So Cortland Sutton, right, guys?
Yeah, for me, I think it's still Cortland Sutton. I mean, depending on where their landing spot is, obviously that could easily change. If Cortland Sutton goes to the Ravens, it's not Cortland Sutton. Like, just not a chance. If the Ravens draft him, it's not him. So then it could easily be James Washington. I actually watched a little bit of the senior day practice. Yeah, that's where I've gotten to in my life. I'm now watching some senior day or senior bowl practices, which, good Lord. But my impression of the little bit that I watched is, holy crap, James Washington is huge. I mean, he just looks like so much stronger and bigger than the people he's up against. So I didn't realize he just looks that big. Like, I don't know if he did, maybe he was pumping iron right before he went out on the field. Like, something made him look huge today. So he definitely got my attention a little bit more.
And what's funny is when you watch him on film, I don't even think he looks that big. Like, he doesn't look like he's that jacked, but I don't know.
That's what I saw a little bit of an Oklahoma State game this year, and I don't remember that from that. But when I tuned in today, I was just like, wow. I mean, he looks just huge, just cut, like gonna dominate physically over a lot of cornerbacks in the league.
Yeah, I almost lean Washington. I really do. I love Sutton. But I feel like, man, Washington's just so smooth, man. When he gets that ball, like he looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. There is no pause. Like, there's some wide receivers catch the ball, they turn around, they're just like, what? Where? Okay. And then they're kind of like running. But Washington, man, he gets that ball and he looks like he already knows what's going to happen before it even happens. Like, it's just, I don't know. I love Sutton. I'm not trying to demean him. Big dude, but man, Washington, I know the biggest hack that Washington gets is, he knows like 3 routes.
I don't care.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
If all you have to do is run out, turn around, and nobody can get around you and you can catch the ball. Like,
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, really, realistically, like, I love Sutton, but Sutton, a lot of times too, I think he just relies on, hey, I'm 6'4", 220. Like, that's kind of like, at least from some of the college tape, like, there's sometimes he just jumps over a dude and catches it. Now, is that beneficial? Absolutely. I mean, Julio Jones has been making a living doing that, but I just, as far as just athleticism, man. But once again, when it comes to wide receiver, I said it before, it's 100% the landing spot. I mean, like you were saying, Sutton goes to the Ravens, which is a good possibility, and Washington goes somewhere. I don't know. I can't think of off the top of my head, but where they're going to utilize them, I mean, it changes the whole game. So, but just off film, it's tough. I think I like Washington just because I think I maybe even get him cheaper. I think Sutton's going to go before him, and I don't know if I want to pay. Like, the gap between the two is not worth the gap between, like, these picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Bosch said it best. I think you said it, Bosch.
That's doubtful.
Whoever lands, like, somebody's probably.
If it was said best, it was probably by somebody else. But go on.
Maybe you just said it first. I'll give you credit that way.
That counts for something.
Yeah,
on this
certainly
podcast.
Does. On this podcast. So if someone goes to the Ravens, it's like, that's just a death trap. Like I don't really want any bite of that. So it's really interesting because I feel like Cortland was the flavor that everybody's choosing, including Gabe. And then Mr. Gee, you just went Washington, but everybody in the chat was saying Washington. Everybody.
I know Tyler's a huge James Washington fan. Like he's told me, he said earlier that he has Washington as his number 3 right now. So I can see that. Like it's going to be interesting. I mean, we're developing a tier. You know, Saquon's got his own tier, but that second tier is getting wider by the day, which is what always happens. You know, originally it was automatically Geis is going to be second, Sutton's going to be third, but now that we're starting to see these prospects a little bit more, that starting to grow a little bit, which is good. It gives you a little bit more options, a little bit more way to move around in the draft and have a little more fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, Tyler's on here. He said he's pretty disappointed the fact that he has to see you not just on Sundays when you record, but also right now. So anything you want to say to Tyler, Bosh?
I feel like there's an easy way to take care of that. There, you like put a piece of tape over me on the screen. There's an X up on this window right here. Like it seems like user error if he's still watching, and it's but you know, whatever.
You can't put this on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky.
Yeah, and that's interesting. And shout out to John DeBari also in the chat. I don't think I shouted him out.
John DeBari, he got me all sorts of pissed off on Twitter today. That guy posted, I think he was the reason it came up on my timeline, was the picture of the Eagles logo getting painted over the Vikings end zone at US Bank Stadium. And I had almost gotten over the fact that the Vikings totally shit the bed on Sunday. And I was just coming back to life and coming back to normal. And then I see that shit, and it was like, well, that was about the worst thing I could have seen today.
So thank you, JDB, for ruining his day.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Hold on now. I watched the Bears draft Mitch Trubisky and sell the farm to move up 1 pick. You can make it through that. Listen, as a Bears fan, I mean,
I make it that far with
every decade, though, man. Every decade they do this to us. It's like every 10 years, the Vikings are going to come in and get your hopes up and go to the NFC Championship, and then
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, well,
Continue.
Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better.
Rex Grossman says what?
Yeah. Grossman's got something to say about that. Cedric Benson.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about last Sunday. Shout out.
You were doing well, Jacob.
Yeah.
Chill.
Chill.
Sorry.
Chill. Married to the games in the chat. What up?
Hey.
Our guest from last week. What up, guys? All right. So, Mr. Gee, you brought up the name that I feel is above all names.
So close. You're about to say gearing, and then you're Gee. Carry on.
My Wayward Johnson.
Carry on. Yeah, I was just gonna say carry on.
Carry on, my Wayward Johnson.
Yes,
I feel like you should sing. I feel like you should sing it if you're gonna sing. There you go.
Oh,
good times.
There you go.
I'm at peace.
Okay. So, Mr. Gee, as I was saying previously,
Yes.
you hit on the name that I am incredibly high on, huge fan of, and I'll tell you why I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I want you to tell me about the guy that you were defending on Twitter earlier today, and I saw you because I saw you doing work when people were like, hey, who is this guy? Like, wait, what you mean? Rojo. Please, Ronald Jones, speak about it.
Man, he was one of those players that I kept on looking at, and I was like, okay, I always start off with, when I usually start doing my film, I like to start off with highlights. So let me see at your best. Let me see where you're at. Then I like to see, tougher opponents, worse opponents. I mean, I spend a lot of time, and I just kept seeing the same person, man. The guy is explosive. He's electric. And my favorite thing is this man, like his vision, like he literally just makes minor adjustments when he runs to find the hole. Like, you can tell that the hole's supposed to be here, but it's not. So then he just adjusts accordingly, and he does it so quickly. Like, quick feet, good vision, can catch the ball. I mean, I see him a lot in bubble screens, and I swear it's like watching a man with a joystick. Like, he just – and I'm like, okay.
Are you playing Atari? What was
exactly that? Exactly. I feel like I'm playing one of them old Atari games, and that man, I kept on wanting to not really like him because some people were kind of hating on him and stuff like that. And I was like, and I took a hot take today on Twitter. I was like, I like him better than Nick Chubb. Like, I just do. I don't care. I know that's hot, but to me, though, I understand Nick Chubb is the hotness. And I'm not trying to degrade Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is a great running back. I'm not saying that he isn't. I'm just saying that what I saw from Rojo was hot. I liked it. I mean, to him, Sony Michel, I'm not saying that they're the same person because that's all I'm saying, but I like to me, their film, I was impressed equally with their film, if that makes sense.
I don't like the fact that he's probably going to weigh in at about 200 pounds with a 6-foot frame. He's tall and skinny. And I think I'm not hating on him either. He's definitely I've got him right below Penny, right below Sonny Michel, right below Nick Chubb. Like, he's right up there with those guys, but I just see a guy who, I know it was kind of maybe to the fault of USC's system, but a guy who really didn't produce a lot in the receiving game in college. And he's really undeniably probably going to be one of the faster backs this year. He's a really, really explosive athlete, but I wonder if he's thick enough to carry a between the tackles role. And if he's not,
I don't.
If he's not,
I don't want him.
I wonder if he's good enough in the receiving game to make up for it. And
that's fair. I mean,
about him. But other than that, I really, really like the guy. I mean, he makes big plays for sure.
I think, but see, my take was that I think it's a USC thing. I don't think it's necessarily him. When he's caught the ball, he's been productive with it. Yeah, is he a little skinnier and he's going to be like an in between the tackles type of running back? Probably not. And I mentioned that when I took the podcast. I said, I'm afraid that he's going to get labeled as a scat back. But even as a scat back, you hold value. I mean, we saw Christian McCaffrey. Okay, he was you would consider to be, I wouldn't say necessarily a scat back, but he was a receiving back. I mean, he still held value. Now, once again, like you said, in college,
Christian McCaffrey was proven that he was a really, really good receiver before he ever entered the NFL. That wasn't a question. And I think it looks like
I know. I'm not saying let's get hold on.
You can't really judge 31. You can't judge Ronald Jones off the 31 receptions he received, but there's, I mean,
I'm telling you the eye test. I'm not saying that he's a reception type of mask. I don't like comps. I'm going to be honest. I talk about this in my podcast. I don't like comps. I don't like to say, hey, this player is like this player because that gets people too hyped. People saying, oh, Cortland Sutton's the next Julio Jones. Calm down. All right. I'm not about that life. But if I were to tag but if I were to tag him as something, it would almost be kind of like a Tariq Cohen. Like, I'm not saying he's Tariq Cohen, but I can just see him being utilized as a third down back and being very successful at it. And I like that his price is going to be cheaper. I don't feel like I have to get Rojo in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 area on a rookie draft. And I like that about him.
Yeah.
There has been some success as of late for that 210 to 15 pound back, with Kamara and Calf, of course, and I guess you could put in Duke Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
Deion Lewis.
I have no intentions of a team
Buck
saying,
Allen.
"Oh yeah, but I have no intention of a team coming in and saying, "All right, yeah, at your weight, you're a 3 down back." That's not what I'm saying. But fantasy wise, I think that he can be utilized. If gone to the right team, I think he has the talent too.
Yeah, it's almost similar to your take on the wide receiver landing spot, in that if he's utilized correctly in terms of receiving and a good balance in rushing, then he could be successful.
First of all, I just want to say,
sorry.
I just want to say that Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara are both thicker. Even McCaffrey, who's an inch shorter and probably a couple pounds bigger, is going to be a thicker player than Ronald Jones. He's very, very thin. He's going to have probably one of the lowest BMIs in the class. But
but you still see. Theo Riddick has success. He's what, 5'10", just off the top of my head. He's 5'9". Just Google it. He's 5'9".
Right. No, guys will find success. I don't worry that he can't find success, but it comes down to Tim NFL got me thinking this way the other day, and he kind of challenges people to think this way. It's like, how will he succeed at the next level? And if the answer is he's going to succeed at the next level through third down work and through catching the ball on third downs or being that scat back, change of pace back, well, I got to look at what he's done, which isn't much in the receiving game, and that kind of begins to raise a little bit of a red flag for me. If he can't carry the ball between the tackles at the next level, I don't know where he's going to find his worth.
But then I push back on that just to say that, and again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I study running backs for a living or anything of that nature, but if there was ever a time for a guy like Ronald Jones and all these guys that are coming out with the profile similar to Ronald Jones,
the NFL today.
This is it.
You're right.
This is it. And so with all this space and play, and like you said, I can't pull up his numbers. I've been trying to look here. I'm not sure of his target numbers from USC, but I think it's a similar case of, I don't know that he was even given the opportunity to show off the hands, and I don't know if he can or he can't. I do know this, very reminiscent, and people have already said it, and I watched it during the season. I saw this. The guy literally runs very similar to Jamal Charles the way that he did at Texas. And Jamal Charles wasn't the most spectacular thing on tape when you watched him at Texas. He was a very good player, though. Additionally, what makes me nervous, even though I do love Ronald Jones, I love everything about him. What makes me nervous is I really hope that he's not in the vein of Tevin Coleman and Lamar Miller, where you have speed for days, but the vision is not where you want it to be, which is incredibly frustrating because the opportunity is there. They don't take advantage of it. Now, Ronald Jones has shown good vision. Tyler, you highlighted that, and I completely agree. And I'm hoping that can be the case at the next level because I think that he can be absolutely awesome. What were you saying, Gabe?
It was a snicker of agreeance.
A snicker of agreeance. All right.
Yep.
Is that low calorie?
Low calorie. Low calorie snicker for sure. Because it was,
I like that.
Not aggressive, just with you, bro.
So my biggest thing is, do I think Rojo is going to be the next hotness? No, I don't think that he is going to. But that's what he appeals to me. I guess I need to take a little personal bias, but it's like I said, in most of my dynasty leagues, I'm looking at pick 1-8 to 112 area, and I know that I can probably find him there, and I think that he's going to have some fantasy relevance. It's suffice he finds his way to the right spot. So I don't know if he's like, oh, let's take Ronald Jones 1-2, 1-3 area. No, I'm not doing that. That's ludicrous. But I'm just saying that, most people that listen to these type of podcasts are pretty good players. So I'm assuming that you want to find some deeper picks. And I feel like he's not a deep pick, but he is a decent pick for a first round, even maybe early second, depending on each league. It always differs. So
what's that BMI, Jacob?
What's that?
What's that BMI?
For Rojo?
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to say,
come on, man. You got to be staring at it.
It's 27-1. It's 27-1 if he's 6 foot 200. But if he comes in thicker than that, it'll be better. But 27-1, 27-1.
Yeah, that's okay. Wow. That is lower than I thought.
Shout out to Jesse Fritsch on Twitter. I don't know his Twitter handle off the top of my head, but he's got a spreadsheet that he allows whoever to take a look at.
Calhoun Lambo, Calhoun Lambo, right?
Something like that sounds about right.
Yep. At Calhoun Lambo.
Yeah, on Twitter. He's got an NFL database spreadsheet that you, if you go to his page on Twitter, you can actually click on that and view the prospects. And right at the current moment, obviously, again, pre-combine, they've got Ronald Jones listed at 6 feet 210, which is pretty much the same measurement as Tevin Coleman. Just as a point of reference.
I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen the 210 on him. I might be behind on a lot of that stuff. I'm going through sizes from official measurements for the players that have played in the.
Yeah, you're fine. I was just throwing that out just for the sake of that's what they have him listed at. And that's probably that's probably what USC had him at. Who knows? They might have bumped it up some to make it look a little better. Who knows?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm writing him passive-aggressive notes for him to get bigger. So take that into consideration.
What'd you have him as your weight, Jacob?
I had him down for 200.
Oh shit!
That was what his. Well, actually, I probably got that number off of Jesse's index or Jesse's database at some point, and he's probably updated it since. But I believe that was his official weight at USC. So. Yeah,
you also didn't consider the passive-aggressive notes, so that's also a factor.
He'll bulk up for sure, but and BMI doesn't mean much. I mean, here's the lowest guys. All these guys have 2 or more RB1 seasons. Here's the lowest BMIs in my sample. It's Charlie Garner, Chris Johnson, Jamal Charles, Reggie Bush, Arian Foster, and Melvin Gordon. So. But those guys all had BMIs of close to or over 28. So besides Charlie Garner, who was 26. But
Melvin Gordon's got the most serious gun show up top and the chickenest of chicken legs.
Those legs are scary skinny. I remember that picture from last offseason. You standing next to like Joe Mixon and Joe Mixon rocking these like
and Adrian Peterson,
and Tymo, and all those 3 guys are rocking these like huge, like enormously not human calves, and then Melvin Gordon's like,
Melvin Gordon's like Joe off of Family Guy, just like at some point when he starts running, he just starts using his hands, like just don't even care, all upper body.
That's good. One more guy I want to shout out. And real quick, before we get too far away from Sony Michel, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out David Berger. He's in our Kamikaze League with Bosch. And David, like preseason, he was big on Sony Michel. He's like, hey, I think this guy's going to sneak under the radar. Like nobody's going to be on top. I said, you know what? You're probably right. And as the season keeps going on, I said, dude, they're talking about your guy. They're talking about your guy. And like, I think it was mid-season. It was brought up in Kamikaze. And you could just see the drumbeat building. And obviously, once it got to the actual playoffs, I said, dude, there's no chance that he's going to go for any less than what those guys probably at 103, 104 are going to go for. And he's been on Sony for a long time. So shout out to David. Good dude. Yeah, that's all. So one more person that we want to make sure that we touch on, that because he was brought up in the chat, Kalen Ballage of Arizona State.
Him too.
Yeah, of Arizona State fame. What are thoughts on Kalen? Because I have no clue outside of the fact that they say he's a physical freak or just a giant man, massive a man.
Yeah, I think he just was very underutilized this last year, and just kind of unfortunate that he's he had a huge season in 2016 and then came out with this. So I'm sure it knocks him down, but I'm sure I don't know. I bet he was knocked up. I guess I don't play Debbie. I have no idea about the rankings, but I'm sure he was bumped up from the 2016 season at least. So I'm happy to get him late second. We'll see how he pumps out the metrics, but I definitely like Ballage.
Do you think he'll be late second? I kind of feel he's going to be early second.
Yeah, it's second, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like he's probably going to be in the top part of the second round for the people that really like him, because he's probably going to be a really, really, really good athlete. But he was you said it best. He was very underutilized, and 1,900 career yards, only a 4.4 yard rushing average, which is kind of that's where it starts to kind of get to be pretty. You definitely don't want you want to see a little more efficiency there, but he caught a lot of passes. He had 82 receptions, and it came in with a decent yardage total for production. So, but yeah, I think he was underutilized, and I'm excited to see how he actually tests athletically. If he's as good if he's as fast as people say he is, because you don't know until you put a clock on him. So people say he's going to be running in the mid 4.4 range, but
yeah, just imagine if that dude runs a 4.44 or something like under 4.5, just would be so cool.
If I'm reading this right on the aforementioned spreadsheet for the NFL database here, at the Senior Bowl, Kalen Ballage measured at 6'2", 222.
222. He's leaner than I thought he was going to be for sure. He's tall and lean.
Yeah, he's usually like 230 or something, pushing 230.
Man.
So here's my strategy for Kalen Ballage, because I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. Like, I'm okay if I get him in the second. Like, I'll take him there. Like, that's fine. But what I really hope to do with him is find out who is a Kalen Ballage believer, who wants him. And if I'm sitting there early second, he's on the board. Hey, give me your 2019 first. You can jump up. You can get your guy. Like, that's my plan for Kalen Ballage. So if you're not, on his boat, because he seems polarizing. People either love him or they just don't want anything to do with him. So, and I don't have an opinion one way or the other. So I think I'll take the 2019 pick, given the choice. I'll defer for a year and hope that in 2019 there's a guy that's a little bit more clear to me that I want on my roster.
Yeah. So going back to the size, he 74, a little over 74 inches, 222 pounds. Basically, size comps directly to Alfred Blue, but it's kind of interesting. I made this index that pulls size comps, and I know Tyler's not big on comps, but it's kind of interesting to see who he's built like. And he's built like basically a lot of guys. It's pulling a lot of names that I don't know because it's going through a bunch of old timers too. But Alfred Blue, Deuce McAllister, and Adrian Peterson are on the list. And Todd Gurley's a little further down the list. So he's got that tall, not too fat build to him, which is kind of a rarer build, but yeah, I think he could find success, or he could find an Alfred Blue-like career. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it's not that I'm against comps. I think they're interesting. I think they're fun to talk about, but I just don't like referencing when I'm trying to give advice technically, because it's like I don't feel like it does justice to the player. I mean, remember when Laquan Treadwell was all comped? Remember that? Yeah. That was a lot of fun. And I just feel like it gets people just a little too – exactly. And I just feel like it gets people just these rookie picks. I'm a big advocate, and tell me if I'm wrong, that's fine. I'm a big advocate. I trade a lot of my rookie picks just because of the hype that happens right before the draft. Like, it is insane. Some of the things I've been seeing for this 1-1, listen, I love Saquon, no doubt. The guy's a rare talent. But I saw somebody throw up on Twitter like, hey, should I do this deal? It's the 1-1 in my second-round pick for Jordan Howard, Jarvis Landry, and who else was it? Travis Kelce. And I was like, so a starting lineup. Okay. Like, I was just like, wow. And it's already starting. Like, it's already starting, this the rookie hype. And I know we all talk about it, but it's just like, I don't know. And I feel like comps just shoot it through the roof, where you just have these crazy offers just coming through the tables. And listen, I'm excited about rookies. I think they're all interesting, but I don't know. That's my take.
I have a question. I'm curious how the group feels about a guy that's apparently falling in rookie drafts. Or, I mean, not that there's been drafts, but falling down the board is Nick Chubb. Why does everybody... I mean, I know he didn't look super great in the playoffs, but like, he is really taking a hit. Am I wrong? At this point, I think he's going to be a late first rounder.
Shout out to Katie Flower, who's come on the pod a couple times. She is probably Nick Chubb's biggest fan. by a lot. Yeah, what do you guys think, Nick Chubb?
I think well, Freeman's already he never even started on people's radars. He was a late second round pick. But I think if I had any stock in the 102 to 105 range, I'm trading back and I'm taking Royce Freeman or Nick Chubb. That's my personal feeling on it right now, but I know a lot can change. I think that both those guys are proven elite workhorses. And I think that it's hard. I mean, you're going to find that with Geis. You might find that with Penny. You're probably going to find that with Michelle, but I think it's going to be hard pressed to find those guys that are proven workhorses. And I think both those guys have potential to be that. And I think for the value, I mean, shoot, you could trade into the second round and go back and get Royce Freeman and pick up a pick in next year's draft. But I don't know. I'm looking at the hype that's set for the running backs ahead of these guys, and I love Royce Freeman's value as he slides. I love that.
Chubb's so good.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's got to be tough to come off of what he went through with that injury. I mean, that was like seriously nearly career ending, and just to like trust yourself again, to be able to just plant your feet in different ways. I seriously think that would take years to develop, and then just to go into the next level at a much higher level, bigger, faster, stronger. Like, I know that it's not like any sort of analysis take whatsoever, but I think it's sort of true when something like that happens. I bet it would be decimating. So I give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt of him not looking or having as great of a season as we wanted him to. He's still fine, but I'd still like him at mid to late first value. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know you talked about how I didn't much care for Chubb, or at least that's what the Twitter say. Once again, you only have limited characters here. I don't dislike Chubb. The idea of spending I felt like going into this offseason, it was like the 1-3, the 1-4. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I just didn't see 1-3, 1-4. Now, you're saying mid first to late first rookie? Absolutely. All day. I'm excited about that. I just didn't see, and to add on to what Gabe talked about, to come out of that, it's a crucible. You either come out stronger or you break. And so, but no, I like Chubb. It's not me throwing shade on Chubb at all. I just didn't like the 1-3, 1-4 talk. I feel like he's coming down. He may have came down a little too much. Just kind of talking about what John was talking about, maybe late first, maybe a little too late. But if I'm sitting at 1-6, 1-7, 1-8 area and I'm grabbing Chubb, I'm not. Today is a good day. And once again, a placement.
Can you say that one more time?
Today is a good day.
No. The part about the Chubb.
The part about grabbing Chubb late.
Grinding that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's typically not many like funny Chubb jokes, but that one kind of made me giggle. So just one more time.
Yeah, if I'm grabbing that Chubb late, I'm not mad at it. I'm pretty happy at the end of the day.
I'm sure you are.
All right. This is what you come for this podcast for.
Very good.
So are you saying grabbing Chubb late leads to the happy ending of the day? Is that?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. It's late at night.
I just wanted to make sure.
So just real quick, are you guys Michelle v. Chubb? Who would you take first?
Ooh, it's close, man.
That's I feel like that's been ballyhooed about.
That's close. I'm a Chubb guy personally.
All right, I'm liking where this is going.
Especially if the value continues. If Chubb's value is going to be better than Michelle, then yeah, give me Chubb all day long.
Let's say you're at 105 and you cannot trade out.
And I have to pick one of those two guys?
Yeah, we'll say 105, 106. You can choose whichever one you want if it makes a lot of a difference for you. You can't trade out. You choose between.
Today it's Nick Chubb. Tomorrow it could be Michelle. Or, like that's honestly how I feel about it. Like, I feel like
thanks. That helped us out.
Check out the running back coach.
Today for me, I'd go Nick Chubb, and it wouldn't, and I'd feel pretty good about it. But I could see where Michelle could land in that ideal spot where he's got a chance to be a 3-down back. And I mean, he's the better. I think Michel's the better receiver of the two. So there's definitely some. I'm torn between the two. But today it's one. Tomorrow it could be the other.
I'm going Michel. Just Michel Taco Bell. There we go. And it just goes back to receiving. I mean, I think a lot of dynasties are PPR, at least half, and that's where he sells it for me. Like I said, I'm not throwing any shade on Chubb. I like him, but I just if I'm sitting there choosing between the two, it's Michel.
I mean, if you play in full PPR, yes, but don't get me started on why full PPR is a horrible format. Dude.
I play it half, so even at half,
half is better. But I really I'm starting to like the bonuses for running backs. Those scoring formats are the best.
I'm sure you are a running back coach here. I'm an expert at running backs. I really like standard leagues.
I actually my longest running dynasty league. I want to say it wasn't always dynasty. It is now. It kind of evolved, but it's closing in on 20 years now, and it's still standard, and we still use standard scoring, and I love it. I love the values in that league, and it's not like wide receivers don't mean anything in standard leagues. People,
the 5 points from Jarvis Landry really means a lot.
But no, my favorite formats are the ones like. I like the full PPR 0.25 points per carry. I like bar tab with the bonuses for yardage that we have. What are you shaking your head, John? Don't we have a yardage bonus? Don't we have the yardage?
Just the 0.125 per carry or something? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Running backs get a bump based on it's not per carry, but instead of 0.1 point per yard, you get 0.125. So
it's a yardage bonus. It's a yardage. It's not. It's a.
I thought you meant like when they hit 100 yards, you get a bonus.
No, that's not what
Gotcha.
I maybe said it wrong, but it's not like a bonus for like an amount of yards, but they get more.
They get a bump.
They earn an exponential amount of points compared to wide receivers who gain the same amount of yards.
Yep, and instead of full PPR, it's
I think those are harder
quarters.
Those are harder yards to earn, and I think that I like that. I really do. I like that setup. So.
Poor running backs not getting appreciated.
Hey, running backs in my scoring system were freaking killer this year. Like they drove the championship teams. It was
Todd Gurley did all right in the championship. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah.
Hot take here.
Oh wait, so Gabe opened by asking how I won those two leagues that are the Kamikaze and Bartab. Strange coincidence.
I didn't.
On both of them.
Yeah, Gurley.
Pretty sure Gurley's on both of them.
I'm pretty sure you could buy a shirt that says "I won the championship playing against Gurley," and there would be at least 7 shirts sold. At least 7, maybe more.
Took the under on that one, Bosch. How do you like that over under?
I lost a championship with Todd Gurley on my team.
Oh, because it was a standard league, and then
it was I've since removed myself from that league because it was there was kickers and defenses, and I lost because of kickers and defenses. I was like, yeah, fuck this.
Not enough running backs. Running backs. Why aren't all my players running backs? I don't understand.
I think that scoring formats could just be rotating every year like Scott Fish because like it just, underappreciate running backs, whatever. That can happen one year. They'll underappreciate the wide receivers the next year.
But can you do that in Dynasty though, Gabe? Can you really rotate scoring formats every year? Because people
you can, right, John Bosch? Yeah, power hungry. That's what you do. The champion picks up a new rule every goddamn year.
Yep, I do run a league where the champion of the league is allowed to change the scoring format if they so choose. So, you gotta win.
Jacob wins. Running backs get 10 points per carry. What was that?
Yeah, we do have in there like if the proposal is voted 9-13 against, it's not allowed.
Okay.
Just to make sure that it's not completely overhauled. But the opportunity is there. If you win,
it sounds like I lucked out and got into one of your more mild leagues. I'm pretty fortunate to have landed in that.
I think you might be right. I think Bartab probably is one of my more moderate leagues, actually.
All right. I'm cutting you off, John. You've said way too much.
I believe I was paused. There was dead air.
Should we? I don't know where our time is. We're doing all right. Are we doing all right?
We're over an hour, so yeah, I think it's time for us to go.
Okay. Oh, put the kids to bed. Let's put the kids to bed here. Well, this was great. Got to finally talk some rookies. I know it's not too early for that, right, Jake? So it's been, geez, JMic, calm down. We're not even cheer. I didn't say anything. Don't raise.
I just want Bosch to see this. I didn't know if he had it or not. I didn't want to wait.
I see it. I'm not an IPA guy though, so I know the Rhine guys love in Cincinnati. I am well aware.
I was just checking.
I'm not an IPA guy, so
I
have had the occasional Rhine guys truth. Like if it's given to me, that's not one that I turn down.
Well, that's what happened. I hosted people over here at our house for the championship games, and they brought various beverages.
Yep.
And
that's how I always end up with it.
Them, yeah, they just left them. So I was like, okay, sure.
I always kind of host our NFL when they're doing the NFL draft, and I am a beer brewer, so I have
even better.
Yes, I have my own little keg. I got a full keg of. If you ever tried a beer called Gumball Head, it's kind of like that. It's an IPA, orange, lemon. Anyways, yeah, it's exciting. So, been sipping on that a little bit.
The an IGA.
Yes, nailed it.
Yes,
I like it.
Spicy like that.
Oh man,
can't get mad at it. Can't get mad at it.
Shout out to the people on Twitter that helped me out as far as drinking. We're on that subject. Thanks for helping me choose what to drink tonight. I offered up a cocktail choice between putting in chartreuse and Pernod and Drambuie. JMic, I died when you said that Drambuie sounded exotic. It really does. And then the fourth option was then to say, oh, you not fancy, just shut up. And so that won by a landslide. So I decided not to be fancy tonight, and I got some mead. It's still probably sort of half fancy. This is something that our boy Tim Turner would drink, some mead. So if you know what I mean, but
I know how to make mead. Do
you know how to make?
Yeah, it's the same as any other beer, but instead of using sugar, they use honey.
Right.
Isn't that literally the thing that Bud Light makes fun of in the commercial, the mead?
Well, so Bud Light,
they're children out there.
Isn't that the whole Dilly Dilly campaign? Like, wasn't that the first one? The guy brings up mead or something like that?
Yeah. He brings up a craft mead and they make fun of him. Yeah.
Shout out to that guy.
It's kind of funny because Budweiser is like, hey, we only use 4 ingredients. And I'm like, as a beer brewer, I'm like, that sounds awful. I'm just like, I'm like, okay. And then the same thing, of course, they're like, we lager our beer cold. And I'm like, that's what lagering is. To lager a beer, you have to keep it cold. So I'm like, as a beer brewer, I'm like, okay. That's like being like, we swim wet.
Yeah, it's 95% of the country doesn't know that, so they're getting over on all of us. We're like, whoa, ice brewed, huh? Okay, cool. Lager, great. I like it. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right. Sure, man.
From the Rocky Mountains.
Thank you for the insight and the knowledge there, Tyler.
They also are the same people that, don't they don't think that you're smart enough to figure out if your beer is cold. You have to have a pitcher.
No, if you don't know that it's got to turn blue. So
I need my mountains to turn blue.
Yeah, if you don't know that your beer is cold, you need to stop drinking, man. When you stop feeling, that's when you've had enough. You got to cut it off. You got to look at your friend and go, "Hey, man, is my beer cold?" And be like, "You can't feel it." And be like, "No." Be like, "All right, we're done."
Dude, go home. You're drunk.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would stop seeing the Blue Mountains before you would stop feeling. I feel like that would be the first thing that would happen.
Very good. Speaking of, I can't really feel my toes. I think I gotta go to bed. So, or just get another beer. I'm not sure yet. But, guys, we got to get out of here. We'll say our goodbyes. John, Bosch, my man, thanks for coming on. Anything to say? Would you like to share a piece about how good you are at fantasy football or anything like that?
I am not good at fantasy football. I don't know why you would say that. So don't slander me that way. That'll ruin my brand.
I'm not good. I just win a lot.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I don't win a lot. I just happen to win literally the 2 leagues that you dumbasses are in. So, but
hey, I got to the playoffs with one motherfucking quarterback.
I don't know how the hell you got there. Like
I dropped the ball at the end of the season.
I don't know how you got there, and then I don't know how Brian Stein's team got there either. Like he literally would have been one of the higher auction dollars based on potential points, but he managed to slip into the playoffs because he just kept winning games every single week inexplicably.
I was really trying not to get there.
But yeah, so those are the teams that I had to beat in the playoffs. It wasn't a lot of competition.
Right, fair enough, right?
Like, let's face it, that's what I beat, you know. No, as for me, you can just follow me on Twitter at EmpireFFL. I am on it often and am always happy to interact with people about fantasy football. So, and that's where you can find out what I'm doing too. That's never a problem.
Good. Jake?
I got no parting words really. You guys can find me on Twitter. I'm at FF Ski Bum, even though I'm not much of a ski bum right now because I haven't been out once.
Wow.
Yeah, pathetic. It's really been pathetic. But I usually ski, but this winter has been really weird for me. So but anyways, I'm at FF Ski Bum on Twitter. I sometimes post a lot of meaningless numbers about running backs. But yeah.
You're cracking the code, my man. You're getting it's good stuff. It's a lot of research. You're doing great.
Anything to it.
Doing the Lord's work with that Game Shark. I see you.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, though, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely.
Our pleasure.
Hard G gang, Tyler, what's up?
Not much, man. Just happy to be on. Glad for the invite. Had a lot of fun. Just check us out at the Fantasy Football Franchise, man. Do a weekly podcast, maybe some hotter takes, maybe some good takes. Have a lot of fun, though. Me goofing around on this pod is not unusual. This is just me. Just doing me. Fantasy football and jokes and beer brewing. That's what I got.
And beer brewing.
A lot of best fit.
A lot of best fit. More.
A lot of best fit. Some little R squared sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing some stuff with rankings and Z scores right now.
Oh, you nerds! Listen to you go.
What is this R?
Oh, Z scores. Let me unbutton my shirt. Just one at the top here.
So an R squared is you take a line of best fit and you take your data and you figure out how close your data matches that.
So it's like a deviation. It's like a deviation.
We'll send y'all the link to the line of best fit math rap video.
Yeah, a deviation kind of, but it's
that link should just be going across the top of the screen at all times.
but we usually talk about deviation and talk about standard deviation, which sets to be like to the normal curve. A line of best fit can be to any curve, so R squared can be to any curve, whether it's linear. Gabe's with me.
Trust me. I am one of the LOBF commissioners.
So, anyways, yeah.
Tyler has no idea what I'm talking about. I don't think I'll send you the link later, buddy.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thank all of you for coming on. It was a great group. I think almost all new as far as open bar. Have you been on open bar before, John?
I think this was my first time on open bar.
Okay.
I think I was on Grab Bag with you, but I don't think I was. I don't think I've ever been on open bar.
He barged in.
I
once.
did. That's right. I jumped on to try and ruin Clint's day, and it ended up ruining mine. But
preseason, yeah,
that's right. That was back in the startup auction. That's
yes.
right. That was
Beautiful.
That was a long time ago.
He was on for like 10 minutes and he left. He just wanted to get to like he was just gonna snipe Clint, and then Clint sniped him back. It was like that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. I wonder what player it was on.
I think either Derek Carr or Dak Prescott. I can't remember. One of the two.
Huh. I wonder how it worked out.
I feel like we need the Wayne's World drop. Diddle-a-loo, diddle-a-loo, diddle-a-loo.
I'm glad you got through the podcast without having to talk about Sunday too much.
Hey, well, we'll just cut you off there then. It sounds like
All right,
a little
let's wrap
bit
it up.
too much wine there, Jacob. JMic, what do you have to say?
Mute that man. Mute.
Nice.
On Twitter at JMicCheck. Hashtag Duval. Saxonville forever in our hearts. You guys were brilliant. And shout to Blake Bortles. You did your thing. You didn't lose us the game. And Tom Brady just did what Tom Brady just does. So to all of our Patriot fans that are friends of ours or friends of the show, shout out to the guys in Maine, the Dynasty Dummies. Yep. And anyone else that I mean, Jason Tran. I think Tran's a Patriots fan.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Doug.
No, Tran's a Bears fan.
Dude, screw all those Patriots fans, man. They got enough Super Bowls. They don't need
weird. He's like Bears, but he's also Patriots. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad at Tran still about that.
I think he likes the Lakers, the Yankees.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Alabama.
Like he's a huge Hulk Hogan fan and all that jazz. Yeah, exactly, Alabama. Thank you guys for joining us very much again on Twitter at JMicCheck. Again, if you missed it, if you weren't here with us to start the pod or to see the live video, the grand announcement, the podcast is back to being a podcast. You can find us on iTunes. Again, you just search fakepigskin.com open bar, and you will find our lovely super sweet logo that was again manufactured by the one, the only Jake Anderson, NFL Draft Talker on Twitter. So again, thank you guys for joining us. Gabe, take us home.
I
just subscribed.
Yes.
Smash that subscribe button.
I did my job.
Smash.
Give a rating and review while you're at it, would you? Like while we're still live here, John, that'd be great.
I hit that 5-star button. It's up there.
My man. And for those, real quick, I'm sorry, Gabe, for those that maybe this is their first time joining us, you come here for the fun. You don't come here for the fantasy analysis.
We'll get there. We get there, but no, you're right. Yeah, no.
We like to.
I appreciated what I learned from you guys tonight. I think there was some actual talk of rookies. I think it was you could get some fantasy stuff out of this.
You can definitely get that. We just like to enjoy ourselves and have fun with our guests because they're basically like our friends. So yeah, Gabe, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm done.
No, I honestly wish that you were the one to officially close us out because that was superb. You shouted out and all the right people and very well done. But and shout out to our YouTube chat people, I suppose, because you might be listening on the podcast right now since we have that. But come with us live Tuesdays,
live.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. We get people in the chat and we get to talk shit to John Bosch a lot if it's about another league or whatever. But yeah, so it's all good. We are through Fake Pigskin. All right. They've got check out their website. They've got their thing going where it's a $3.99 kind of subscription thing monthly or $29.99 for the year, access to all the DFS content, access to everything. It's all gravy, baby. So I don't know. Is there anything else that we need to say here besides Duval?
You covered all the bases. And if you haven't checked out Gabe's shower cry video on Twitter, you need to check that. Go check his timeline at Grabbag Fantasy. And if you haven't heard the new intro, can we play the intro to go out as well, just so people can hear it again?
I think we could play the. No, I don't know if that's
No. Okay. Well, rewind to the beginning of the pod and listen to it again.
If you talk for about 1 minute, I could probably play it, but
No, it's okay.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Can anybody here fill 1 minute of airtime?
Huh? If only we had a guy.
Seems almost impossible.
I was worried when I posted that that video that people were thinking that I was like sincere about it and that I was like legitimately broken, but which I am, but
it's like, wait, that wasn't real?
I guess never mind. Yeah, actually, you had the right take. No, that was a whole lot of fun to make. Shout out to my wife. She directed the whole thing and it was beautifully made. I was
shout out to Miss Geary.
Impressed. Yep. Shout out to Mrs. Geary. Also a part of that Hard G gang, right, Tyler? You know. Tyler checked out. Okay. Put your drinks up. Put your drinks up. We do a little cheers here for those you three have not been at this open bar, but you have to cheers to the camera. We do one of those, and we say, JMic, are we coming back in 2 weeks? We coming back next week? We have to recoup.
Yes, we will be back in 2 weeks.
All right, 2 weeks. So check this out. There's 3 pods now up in iTunes. So you can catch up on the open bar. You know, that's one beer per pod, 3 beers. That's your limit. Cut yourself off,
but don't get crazy.
Don't get crazy.
So I listen at work. Are you still recommending that? Because
absolutely, 100%.
That seems awfully dangerous.
Your job. Like I'm a teacher, man. You know, like.
Oh, Tyler.
If I was a teacher,
I'll teach you some things, bro.
I would definitely be medicated while working if I was a teacher. I'm sure.
Tyler,
the hell out of you guys. I don't know how you do it.
No one's asking you to pass it to your kids. Nobody's asking you to do that.
Hey, you got to be a favorite teacher somehow.
Turn up.
You gotta. I jest. He's trying not to get fired.
Yeah, for real.
Fired on a podcast. Hold on now.
You can follow Tyler's teacher Twitter account at.
I don't have one of those. If you follow my Twitter account, it's just fantasy football. That's all you're gonna see. I tell that to my students. They're like, Mr. Key, can I follow you on Twitter? I'm like, do you like fantasy football? How do you feel about Rojo?
What grade do you teach?
High school.
Okay,
I teach sophomores.
Kids are actually on Twitter. Then that makes sense. Oh, geez, that would be a nightmare.
No, they're all on Twitter. John, shut up. I'm saying goodbye. We need to say goodbye. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Next Tuesday, not next Tuesday, 2 weeks from next Tuesday, we'll see you on the Super Bowl. Fly Eagles fly, and we will see y'all then. So, deuces.